Welcome everybody to Transform. We got the PACT channel, Power PACT Podcasting. We've got the Disability channel, World Ability Podcast Network, and this is the newest of episodes for Community Impact. I'm Kurt Roskoff. Please be co-hosting here with Emily Gomer and Zach Clayton, and we are all about how to get humanitarian efforts done, charity done, philanthropy, and getting the business community involved. And then here at Community Impact, we even look a little bit beyond that, because when you talk about government agency work, that community impact term is what's used when government works well with the business community. And then you talk about the 501c3 space, these great nonprofits that are out there to support. And a lot of churches and the faith space is doing a lot of great work. And then we have that educational sector, great things being done at our community libraries. And then I always say what's fun gets done. So I think of all these sports teams, all the recreation that a marketplace offers, hobbies, pastime, leisure activities, travel, and doing therapeutic recreation. So we put it all together, but through Community Impact and Community Pay It Forward, it is all about what is the outcome for these nonprofits. Nonprofits are always challenged to figure out what is their business model, like for-profit businesses. The nonprofits too have to figure out how they're going to keep being funded, where that revenue source is, and it becomes an all hands on deck initiative. 2022 has been quite a bit about veteran service organizations, but Community Pay It Forward has so many nonprofits. It doesn't stop at the service to veterans. Emily and I met through a great organization called Onward and Upward, which is its history in serving the homeless community and veterans. And with all of this veteran focus, Onward and Upward has chosen to take a pivot and just really be a lot about veteran education. And Zach here is one of the pioneers of a veteran service project, and just keeps going on and on. And the point is that there's so many unmet needs out in marketplaces all around the world. And so this is the ongoing challenge. How do we get citizens, volunteers, leaders, the movers and the shakers, and everybody from the community to not fall asleep and be in a false sense of security that that we don't need initiative, we don't need ambition. We do need ambition. We do need the attention, and we do need people to keep being educated, to stay up to date, and to be involved as a citizen, to be involved as a community member, a faith member, and so forth. And so Emily's here as our podcast engineer and co-producer, co-host, and just all around executive assistant extraordinaire. Emily, what are your thoughts today as we start your Community Impact show?
I think this is exciting that we're starting in a new podcast, especially about the topic that it is, and about community and community impact. But I think I might want to take you over to Zach, so I don't think he can be on here the whole time, or for too much longer. So I want to get Zach to say something before he has to go.
Yeah, I got to get running because as you know that tonight we've got our PACT podcast, which is people all coming together. We are excited as the three founders here of the PACT channel. We're very excited about some of this new broadcasting that we're going to be doing here on the channel, which is just promoting, as Kurt, you mentioned all the time, including inclusion, inspiration, involvement and outreach. We're trying to bring some positivity to a difficult time in America and in the world. This isn't just about America. And I think that, I think one of the greatest things that we have going for us is that we're all about trying to bring a positive, I don't want to say spin because it's not a spin, bring the positivity to light in the world. We've got so many people who have who hear the news, and let's be honest here, you got to pay attention to the news to keep updated. But let's try to put some light on the positive instead of always on the negative. And so we're thrilled to be starting the IMpACT podcast. Yeah, we're looking for people who want to do all kinds of things, including host. Somebody, if you've ever wanted to take and talk and bring positivity to the world. We're looking for family friendly hosts. We're looking for people who want to put their company where their heart is and sponsor some of these great shows like IMpACT, like PACT, or World of Women, as a great program that's been doing some marvelous things with women. And I've been shouting the message of World of Women for the longest time because it's not a show just about women. Zeta loves it when guys come on. Unfortunately, I've been a little busy lately, so I haven't been able to be on the show lately. But it's one of those fantastic shows that it's inspiring. And Emily and Kurt, you guys enjoy that all the time. Are able to attend that all the time, and you guys know what we're talking about. We've also got the Compassionate Citizens that's going to be on Tuesdays, correct? Yeah. So we're really looking at building a channel around the positivity of today, and we want to make sure that you're involved. This is going to give you a chance to, we said it earlier, Kurt, and it was just something that kind of came off my head, and I really like the way it is. We're not going to make you famous. You can make yourself famous. We're going to give you an outlet, and we're looking for positive people who want to do positive things. We're looking to be a voice of the good, a voice of people who need a voice. So if you're looking to expand your reach and to get your message out, we're going to ask you, please make sure that you join us. This is all about coming together. Because as we say at Community Pay It Forward, no one has to go alone when we all come together. So PACT is now just another. It's another part of this piece. So Emily, Kurt, and myself, we're going to be working hard on this. We're going to make this as beneficial, spread the word as much as we can, get this as far-reaching, and share it with other great organizations. With the Disabilities Channel, we're going to try to involve them as much as we possibly can. Kurt can tell you about some of the other organizations. The World of Ability Podcasting, we're going to try to get in with them, and we're going to try to do as much good as we can with as many different organizations as we can. This is all about helping others, and you're looking at three people right now who we dedicated a large portion of our life to doing just that. And so this is a perfect time for us to utilize this wonderful media outlet of podcasting to bring in some of these great people, to talk about some of these untold stories. Emily and Kurt, you guys joined me on the 22nd. You guys heard some of the wonderful stories that were being told. I think it's fantastic. As I've mentioned many times, there were some stories that I could barely keep my bottom on my seat because I was laughing so hard at some of these stories. There were some of these stories that I felt like I got kicked in the gut. They were tragic stories. Talking to a really good friend of mine, Howard Petrie, who he he was the one who found his daughter after she had committed suicide. That was a hard story to hear, but it was a story that he's created a foundation to help pregnant women with disability, with mental challenges. And the stories don't always come from a great place. The stories a lot of times come from an ugly place, but if we can tell the story of that ugliness and turn it into the beautiful thing that you're trying to do, we want you to join us on the PAC channel. We want you to join us on IMpACT. We want you to join us on Compassionate Citizens, on World of Women, and even better yet, we want you to join us on your own show. We are looking for people to come out and sponsor the channel, sponsor the shows. You know, like I said, let's put your business where your heart is. Let's get you to come in here and let's help us grow this to be huge. You know, we're just people who are trying to care about the community, care about the people in the community. Why don't you and your business come and join us? So, but I welcome this show. I love the name of it. I know when we were discussing it the other day, it was just kind of one of those things. It just seemed to fit right on in the whole, you know, the whole theme. So it's a fantastic fit. So tell me, where are you guys going to go with this show? Let's first discuss that if you could.
Well, this is a, you know, crucial show, I guess, for me, because when I share what I've been doing the last 10, 15 years, and I've been involved in like 100 different nonprofits at all different levels, whether local, statewide, national, international, and there's just kind of a routine snag that happens in this work, because everybody likes to show up and they like to be a part of a good thing, and so there's a little bit of a trend. There's a lot of people around the world going to meeting, and there's outcomes to it, but to me it seems like we're making doing good deeds, and we're doing humanitarian efforts and getting this stuff done in way too many places, way harder than it needs to be. And so to me, community impact is about, you know, a knowledge commons, you know, about bringing together, creating a reference, like with Justin Jones, you know, like a veteran and warrior one-stop shop. You know, it's about the veterans trying to get their life more in balance, and it's soup to nuts, everything that's needed for a veteran to do that. And joining us in this aspect of we're losing the lives of too many veterans of suicide. So, I mean, so all of a sudden I took a point and I made it very mission specific. You know, another way to explain this is there is a great organization in Colorado called Adaptive Adventures. And Adaptive Adventures really taught me something in what was happening to me, because I came from water skiing. I came to this passion to say, I want to just totally amp up and take a quantum leap in what's around me in terms of people with disabilities being included in the sport of water skiing. And part of my strategy was to cross train. And it fell into my lap because actually one of my veteran friends from the ski club, you know, really talked to me a lot about what I was doing, getting people with disabilities into water skiing. And she said, hey, have you heard that have you been talking to the folks at the VA hospital and the spinal cord injury? I'm like, no. So she kind of helped me get that warm introduction to this Joyce over at the VA in Milwaukee. She does an absolutely phenomenal job. I mean, it's like, I don't even know how she does it with what she's doing over there. And while talking to her, you know, with my dumb luck, all of a sudden it's like, she's telling me about this adaptive sports and rec expo that they're just starting to work on. And I'm like, whoa, that'd be right up my alley. Are you kidding me? They already had a dozen different contacts and they were going to do a little thing. And I guess it's something that percolated that they were doing some sharing of the adaptive activities that the injured and wounded vets through the spinal cord unit were partaking in through the great work of Dr. Lee over there. And it got to be a little more than what the VA was really suitable to support anymore. So that's where they said, we got to take this out to the community and getting that community impact going in. The VA, government work saying, we got to get out there. We got to get community partners, really take this where it really ought to go. And so through the curling community, it's not the curling community. It's, is it wheelchair lacrosse? I think, wheelchair lacrosse. Through that community, for whatever reason, the administration at one of the high schools created a way that they could host this event. And so that's the way the story unfolds, is that the 12 grew to 60 through having meeting after meeting and saying, hey, this is for whoever wants to come into this. They didn't say it as community impact project, but that's basically what it was, a community impact project. But they just wanted whatever programs could serve people with disabilities and have adaptive sports and rec come on board. And nobody would ever guess that we had ready for the taking 60 organizations to join in and make that day possible. And we did that 2 years in a row. And that just really, propelled the whole initiative and impacted what I was doing in water skiing. It opened up my eyes to see what all these other, community organizers were doing with their sport and stuff like that. And it got me thinking, and it really steered the way for me, made a clear path, because I saw the litmus test of how others were doing it. That benchmark really empowered me. And to me, this is the flare I come in to community impact, because that's what I think is needed. That's what I had to do with the water skiers. I had to do a little monkey see, monkey do. I had to get into the world's largest water ski tournament in the world in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. And I had to get in front of 1,000 and have all these competitors, all these amazing water ski athletes, and get in front of them, hold a microphone, hold up a sit ski. And I would say, hey, you guys are going over jumps. You're doing both 360s. You're doing phenomenal barefooting, forwards and backwards, and I would name kind of like the amazing things that we see in our water ski shows. And then I would hold up that sit ski and I'd say, okay, now what you doing with this? Come on, bring it on. Almost like talking smack talk, like at WWE. What you doing with this? And it created that impact. They were like jolted. They were like, oh my gosh. All of a sudden it was a humbling experience, and I think if we can come with that wow factor, like the World of Women do, World of Women podcast, wow podcast, that's the kind of stuff that's needed out there. But these well-meaning, bleeding heart volunteers, they just want to do good. And they're not organized like you are, Zach, to be organized to say, hey, we can get you linked up with the businesses and they can support you. We just need to fill it out to formalize it. And then also we got this money trail to you, and this is the stuff, as Zach, this is what the nonprofit space needs. And the interesting thing is this podcast leads right into our ever so amazing IMpACT nonprofit Zoom meeting that's going to be opened up in 13 minutes by the ever so famous diva, DE of Denise, VA of Vargas. She says it's dream every day, visualize always. She puts meaning into her name. Her name is an impact, a community impact. Denise Vargas, captain of IMpACT nonprofit. And Zach, do you know who started IMpACT nonprofit?
I actually do not. Who did that?
Well, there's a hint. I always try to help, my colleagues with a hint that might help. She's in this podcast.
Me? Oh, no, I guess that would have to be Emily, wouldn't
I
it?
didn't know you were a girl, and Zach.
Put your pronouns in.
Somebody had a sex change.
Yeah, well, it's the hair, Emily. It's the hair. I went back to the long hair look, so I get confused every once in a while. So
No,
yeah.
but Emily Gulmer, our very own Emily Gulmer, her middle initial is M. So I always say the OMG EMG, And so yeah, Emily, one day in an onward and upward meeting, we were talking about how we started H&P Ability and all these little novelty meetings were being started. And we're talking about nonprofit stuff and how great the fireside chat is with Edwin. And then all of a sudden, Emily just kind of says, well, what if, like, I could be wrong. Shells does this. I could be wrong, but maybe it'd help if we did like with our free happy business networking that we did like an H&P nonprofit, and she was just kind of dismissive about it. And like Anna Maria and I are like, that's it. That's the cat's pajamas right there. That is what we need to do.
Doesn't it seem to you, Kurt, like every once in a while, Emily takes and she just really doesn't give herself enough credit. And you want to grab her by her cute little neck and go, say how much you're doing, tell people I do so much good because, and, I think it's a wonderful, like I said, I think it's a wonderful concept. The program is great. And I think the best thing about this is that, this is something that we were able to just, we were able to just take in and the flow of it just took and went so easily into what we've been trying to do together. And there's so much of a connection here between the three of us that I think that this is something that, we can continue to work on and we can make so many, we can open so many eyes. We can be that voice where people no longer have to hear those dreaded words. I wish I would have known about you before this happened. Because there are all these smaller nonprofits out there. There are all these things that are out there that, as I mentioned before, they start from a place of ugliness, from a place of pain. We need to make sure that we can get people to talk about them. Make sure that, it's easy to teach somebody about something when you think of it this way. If I tell you about a program you've never heard about, that's going to stick in your head to where you're going to say, wow, I heard about this the other day. And wow, look at that. 2 more people heard this just because we're bringing it up once. If we can keep this going on and we can keep making sure that people understand what's happening when we get into a situation like, I don't know, what's that stuff that's been, COVID, where everybody was looking for a place to go, but nobody knew where to go. There were so many people out there that could have helped us through different things. And because nobody knew about some of these places, they ended up shutting down, which is just tragic. Community Dare to Care, one of the programs that we we handled here, we offer free clothing, free housewares and free stuff to people. And we hear that all the time. I wish we would have known about you before, before this happened. And it's like, get that feeling in your head that it's like, what else can we do? Well, you can call Emily, you can call Kurt, you can call us, and we can bring you on to the PACT channel, Community IMpACT, World of Women, PACT podcast, Compassionate Citizens. We can bring you on here and we can tell your story. We can let you tell your story. Because there's nothing more impactful than a story. Let's make sure that we work together to get these out because, as the saying goes, and we said this so much the other day, one person can make a difference. All of us together, we can change things, and it's hard to do alone. But you know what? The 3 of us, we've been working hard to put this together. And we would like to, and we'd like to welcome you with open arms. Come tell your story. Come let us be a way that, you don't have to pay for that Super Bowl commercial. You can come here and we can share it with the world. And then other people can share what they've heard from here. So we're asking you to come and join us. If you got a family-friendly, positive show, please come and join us. We're going to keep it as family friendly as we possibly can, because that's what this is about. We want to make sure that, you can sit there, listen to it, and have fun. I know that there's going to be one guy who's going to make a lot of fat jokes. Or mean guy. Oh, wait, no, mean. So I mean, it's going to be fun, but we're going to keep it as family friendly as we can, because we want our kids to learn. It's easy to help people. It's not all about money. It's about putting your mind to work and building building something. And it's easy. It's fun to do. And it's really rewarding, because there's nothing like the smile on somebody's face when they look at you and they say, thank you. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful group of words right there. It's one of the best feelings in the world to get that thank you. And that's what we're hoping that we can help people say again. No more of this mean, gruff stuff. Let's just remember, thank you. And on that, I would like to say, Emily, thank you for joining with us, and welcome to this crazy idea we got going. And Kurt, thank you for all the hard work and for joining us. And please make sure that you check out the PAC channel. Check us out. We start here. My podcast starts here in about a little over 2 hours from now. Come and join us. We've got a couple of great guests tonight. We've got, and I love this, Emily. I don't know if I told you this, but we've got a guest who is staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning, her time, because that's when I asked her, do you want to record it? You don't have to be on live. We can record this. And she goes, no, I want to be on live. I feel like we can do more live. And she's that dedicated to building schools in Africa. And so Lydia's going to be joining us. I'm sorry.
She's that dedicated to be up at 3 a.m. to record a podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, these wackadoos that start podcasts at like 2 in the morning, I don't know. They need to go and get checked. So
and do 22-hour marathon podcast.
Yeah, do a 22. Yeah. So and obviously didn't learn their lesson, because it's already being planned for next February. So, but don't tell nobody yet, because we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, you can tell everybody. That's fine. So, but yeah, we're going to have Lydia on from Africa. She helps to build community schools, and is doing a wonderful, wonderful job there with Happy Gardens Community Organization. And then a guy who gave me a great story just the other day, Mr. David Jordan from We've Got Your Six. We talk about how the stories aren't always pretty. Mr. Jordan had to take and pull that gun out of his mouth twice. Pulled that gun out of his mouth, and he's doing some fantastic things with it to help homeless veterans in Dallas, Texas. So we're looking forward to meeting them and talking to them. And then, of course, we got one of my favorite people in the world, and I know you guys both know her too, Sabrina Morris. She's going to be coming on, and it's kind of funny in the intro. I've got this because I didn't know what else to say about her without my intro lasting for 4.5 hours. Because if we tried to put everything that Sabrina does on there, we'd be typing forever, and I've got kielbasa's for fingers, so they don't work well typing all the time. But, Sabrina Morris is the author of Limited Success. She's also a travel guide, and I like this one, and a brilliant life guide is what I put on there. But, once again, that's a secret. We don't want people to know that yet. So make sure that you come and join us. Of course, we're going to have our wonderful, wonderful producer, Emily, joining us, and I'm pretty sure Kurt's going to pop on in so we can talk more about the channel. And then after that, you can jump on over to MKE now and listen to some more positivity. Because, folks, negativity is all around us. The only way we can change it is by being positive. So welcome, Emily and Kurt. Welcome to this show. Welcome to Community Impact. Let's get this done. Let's come together because, once again, inclusion, inspiration, involvement, and outreach we can do a whole lot just by telling people that's out there. So let's do a whole lot. Let's get together and like we always say, nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. So I look forward to talking to everybody in about 2 hours and 5 minutes. But for then, I gotta soothe my pipes, and that way I'm at peak performance tonight. That way, when I do my singing bit, I'm joking. I'm not going to sing. Not, none of you deserve singing. None of you deserve me singing. So thank you guys for inviting me to the premiere episode of Community Impact. This is going to be a great show. I know that this one's going to be a little bit shorter because we're going to be jumping on over to the nonprofit Happy Neighborhood Project. But I'll see you guys there. Have fun closing out this show, and we'll see you guys in about 2 hours. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, I invited Zach earlier today, a few hours ago. Asked him when he was doing it around now. And be like, come on the podcast. So, anyway, it's always good to have Zach around. So kind of what Zach was saying, encourage everybody to tune in every Wednesday at 3 Central for the Community Impact podcast. And I'm guessing, and thank you to Marcus, right?
Yeah, and I know Corinder was asking what I was connecting to at this time. So apparently Corinder doesn't have the information on this show. And I wasn't able to respond to him. So.
Well, I couldn't get it to him. Anyway, so thank you to Marcus, Heart and the Transforming Media Network, for their support and having it on their platform. And so I guess we'll see everybody next week, and stay safe and stay happy. Oh, goodness gracious.